Cannabis in its different forms is the most versatile healing plant that is known to man. I see cannabis primarily as a source of nutrition. It's not a stimulant or depressant. It is known as an adjustant, and so it can upregulate or downregulate the same body system in the same individual at a different given time. My name is Aari Ruben. I am the director of Relief Brands and Relief Brand line of products. Prior to opening the dispensary, my job as an administrator for a pain management and mental health clinic that treated chronic pain patients with opioids, my experience was that those medicines create dependence and addictive behaviors in a large number of people. The medications themselves are extremely effective. We absolutely need them for surgery and for immediate emergent situations. However, they don't seem to be a good alternative for most individuals for long-term use. These are some of our production batches that are in their vegetative state. These plants are looking really good. They look healthy. They're ready to go into flower in the next week or so. And are these the new mother plants that we're going to be cloning off of for next batches?
That's correct. These are the new moms that have been remommed recently, and these will be our future donors.
Is this trying to flower a little bit? Might need a little more light.
Yeah.
When I was first exposed to cannabis, it was a social or recreational activity. As time went on and I became more familiar with cannabis and different strains and different effects, I became aware that there were medical uses. I have an uncle who's one of my mentors, and he is a PhD organic chemist with a focus on nutraceutical medicine. And in the mid-90s, I had the good fortune to work with one of his organizations known as Shaman Pharmaceuticals. They had 80 ethnobotanists traveling the South American and African rainforests and bringing back plant species that were suggested by indigenous medicine people to have efficacy in treating human illness. And that started me off with a basis in understanding plant medicine and a passion for its uses. The conditions in this area simulate summertime, so the lights are on 16 plus hours a day to simulate long summer days. Edsel is cutting clones, and he'll trim the bottom down just a little bit in order to create a fresh cut, sterile environment. We dip it into a little rooting hormone and then straight into a organic soil plug that has a small amount of nutrient. And so over a period of about 10 days, these plants will develop a root system of their own and be able to uptake more nutrient and be either a mother plant or one of our production plants. This is one of our flower rooms where the magic happens. In this room we have 40,000 watt high pressure sodium lights. It stays cool by about 25 tons of air conditioning when the lights are on. We fill it with an average of 160 plants per cycle, and they're in these 7-gallon grow bags in organic soil, and we trellis them up. These plants are one of our favorite medicinal strains. It's Shark Shock. It's a heavy yielder that doesn't have a lot of leaf growth coming out of it, and so it's very easy to trim. We call this room Flower Room 2. These plants have been in here for about 2 months. They're finishing in their late flower cycle and ready for harvest. And we're happy to be here doing what we do. Presently in the United States, there's more support for the legalization of marijuana than there has ever been. The support for medical uses is at an all-time high, and I believe to be in the 80 or 90% range in terms of adults that support people having safe legal access to medical marijuana for reasonable medical use. How are you today?
Oh, fine, and you?
Good, good. This is where our bud tenders help patients. We have a large variety of product, most of which we've made in-house. On the top shelf we have our indica dominant flower selection. We also are making a number of novel products that you can see down on the center. We have a sublingual strip. On the bottom shelf we have our line of tinctures and topicals. We're big on information. We maintain a lending library where people can borrow our cannabis information and learn more about the industry, products, different treatment methods. We also have a few books for sale. What are we inventorying today?
Concentrates.
Okay, how's it looking so far?
Really good.
Yeah. In this cabinet we have a large variety of extracts that are waiting to be turned into products or sold to other vendors and turned into labeled e-cigarettes, vape cartridges or the like, edibles. This is what raw cannabis distillate looks like, and it can be put into a large number of different items. I personally like all of our strains. They all have character and their own nuances. The great thing about it is that cannabis has an incredibly high safety profile. It's very safe. And so we experiment and do our trial and error process with individuals. We can find what works for them and use that information then to help others with similar circumstances. And so that to me is fascinating, and one of the most interesting parts of my job is matching up the right plants with the right people. Cookies and cream, oh, it's good, I like that. Well, have a nice day, thanks for coming.